On today's episode, we're talking top 10 tight ends, PPR. We're going to get to it after you smash that like button. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Let's get it popping. Hey, look. Ruining dreams under pressure. Peachy be the one to bless ya, but don't test her. The queen reigns supreme, you know what I mean? Add the boy Breezie, Prince, like a king. When the two come together in any weather, they form a bond, stay tight in any measure. So it's my pleasure, the number one team. Let the world know what's your fantasy. What's good, everybody? It's your boy WayneBreezie, Crystal Peachy B, host of What's Your Fantasy Football Show. Welcome. Make sure you guys smash that like button. Don't forget to leave a comment in the comment section. And if this is your first time watching, click on subscribe. It's the hostesses with the mostesses. We are back talking fantasy football. Today we're going to talk about top 10 tight ends. Peachy, there's some great tight ends out there. There was some tight ends that got drafted this year. Just off the top of your dome, number one tight end, number two tight end, Colston Loveland versus Tyler Warren from the Indianapolis Colts. Which tight end has a better season? Just a better football season overall. Colston to the Bears, Warren to the Colts. I'm thinking quarterback. I'm thinking Caleb Williams
right?
to Love.
So I'm gonna
Loveland.
have to go with Loveland, man.
Who the f is the quarterback for the Colts?
We don't even know yet.
Wait, who are they? Is it Daniel Jones?
It's either Daniel
Or
Jones
Anthony
or
Richardson.
Anthony Richardson.
Oh, God. Well, Anthony Richardson has a savior in the tight end. He got a Tyler Warren, so that might help him out. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see what happens when it comes to that. But, guys, don't forget, man, check out our sponsors and partners over at residency.com. Use the promo code SFBreezie so you guys can save on your total purchase. All right? Don't forget to check that out. We're going to be rocking with Residency all season right here on this channel. So make sure you guys check them out. Use that promo code. Peachy, these top 10 tight ends, this is about to be interesting. I'm a little excited to talk tight ends. Number one tight end going into this season, Brock freaking Bowers from the Las Vegas Raiders. The Las Vegas Raiders. Talk to me about this kid, man, because he had a phenomenal season. Listen, he was number 3 in receptions, okay? I'm talking about amongst receivers and running backs. He was number 3, 112 receptions. He had 153 targets. He's the number one targeted tight end out there in fantasy football. Finished with 1,194 yards, but only 5 TDs. Only 5 TDs. Let's talk about Brock Bowers. What are your thoughts on this young gentleman?
The only thing I have to say about Brock Bowers is, wow. I'm jealous for one anyway, but that's beside the point, you know.
Georgia kid, right? He went to Georgia.
Yes. He was amazing at Georgia. Was amazing last year. I look for big things to be coming from him. He's going to be catching passes from Geno Smith. So that's going to be...
No, because... Wait. Let's talk about that for a quick second. I think Geno Smith is the best quarterback they've had. So now you went from Aiden O'Connell to whoever else played quarterback, Gardner Minshew, and now Geno Smith. This might be an upgrade. Does Brock Bowers have a better second season than he does now? And they drafted a running back. What are your thoughts? Number one tight end. Does he do better with Geno or worse with Geno?
I think that he will do better with Geno because Geno is highly intelligent.
Good point.
And
get a point.
I forgot who their offensive coordinator is. So he's
right.
definitely going to have... I forgot about that.
Right.
Yep. So, yeah.
Okay.
I mean...
It's interesting. I asked that because now I'm thinking, oh, snap. He did that without a quarterback. Interesting. Now, Geno will look to probably spread the ball around a little bit more. And I don't feel like Geno's ever really worked with a good tight end. I mean, he did have Noah Fant in Seattle, so we'll see what happens. But Brock Bowers, look, I will say this: he's a top tight end going into this. If you are looking for a receiving tight end and you have an opportunity to not draft a top 5 wide receiver, top 5, and the top tight end is available, I will go get Brock Bowers. This cat had, let me just read you the top 10 receiving leaders from last year. You ready? As far as receptions, Jamar Chase, 127. Amon-Ra St. Brown, 115. Brock Bowers, 112. Trey McBride, 111. And Malik Neighbors, 109. These are the receptions. And speaking of Trey McBride, let's get to our next freaking tight end on the list, baby. Trey McBride, Arizona Cardinals. I just talked about this kid. He only played this. He played in 16 games, so he missed a game. 111. He was 4th in receptions. So that's 111 extra points. He had 1,146 yards on the season. Here's the kicker about Trey McBride. And I'm going to ask you this, because this is my question to you, because you know, Trey McBride only had 2 touchdowns. So I'm going to ask you this. Is he going to get more than 2 touchdowns on the season?
Yes. Yes, he is. He's definitely going to get more than 2
better.
touchdowns.
He mother freaking better.
Right. I have been sniffing around Cardinal sites a little bit. They are going to get him a lot more involved around the goal line or whatever, as far as, you know, like the direction of the goal line, because he had a problem with that last year for some reason, just putting it up there. So yes, he's definitely going to get quite a few touchdowns this season.
So with Trey McBride, if he can get those touchdowns up, Peachy, he would be more of an intriguing piece, because he's definitely one of Kyler Murray's featured targets. Now, I do expect the ball to be distributed a little bit more to Marvin Harrison Jr. this upcoming season. But Trey McBride is a top 10 tight end in the NFL overall. He's number 2 on our tight ends list, slightly ahead of George Kittle, just because I think he has more of a rapport with Kyler Murray, and his targets say so, right? So 111 targets. So where would you draft Trey McBride, though? Because I gave you a disclaimer about Brock Bowers. I said if your top 5 receivers are gone, or top 4 receivers are gone, then get Brock Bowers. Would you do that for Trey McBride?
Yes, I would do that for Trey McBride, as a matter of fact. It was weird because between 1 and 2, it was like it could have just went.
I just played.
It could have just went. To me, you could have just flipped 1 and 2. I just feel like that those are the top 2, regardless of how you look at it. It doesn't matter whether it's PPR. It doesn't matter if it's standard. It doesn't matter if it's half. It doesn't matter what it is. Those to me should be 1 and 2.
1 and 2. I like that. Mm-hmm. I like that. So tight end 3. All right. Since we're talking tight end 3 is going to be none other than George Kittle. And I know a lot of people were like, well, how is he not tight end 2? Because the Niners in the distribution now, he may just be more featured this upcoming season because of the wide receiving situation going on with San Francisco. You got the Juwan Jennings situation now. Brandon Ayuk won't be there at the beginning of the season. So George Kittle had 78 targets last year. All right. He had 78 targets last year with this dude still had 1,106 yards. And guess what? He only played in 15 games as well. So 8 touchdowns, 1,106 yards off of 78 receptions. He had 1 target shy of our number 4 receiver, Puka Nacua, which you guys can check out. So check out our top 10 wideouts. What are your thoughts on George Kittle going into this season as a top tight end target?
I agree with what you said. It is possible that Kittle could wind up even better because of the state of our wide receivers right now. I mean, our top wide receiver, Brandon Ayuk, is not back. He's probably not going to start out the season anyway. So they're definitely going to need to rely on Kittle more. The only thing that I have about Kittle is, as long as he's just not doing all that blocking, and he's more with the receptions. He's capable of doing amazing things. Kittle is amazing. What a lot of people, I guess, blocking's not sexy. One, blocking, haven't got anything for fantasy yet for blocking. So that means a lot. So when they use Kittle as a blocker for, a lot of the game, that's what brings his fantasy stats like way down and things like that. But if they use him like a receiver, because he can also do that as well, because he's a man of many talents, as everyone knows, one of the best tight ends ever,
1000%
ever, then he's definitely going to have a big fantasy season. So.
I agree 1000%. My money's on Kittle. Matter of fact, it's Brock Bowers Kittle for me. I know I got my man, but Kittle got more touchdowns. So you swap touchdowns for receptions. That's what you do. I just PPR though, so I get it. If you like Trey McBride over George Kittle, that is super duper fair. Here's a guy that was the number one tight end in 2023 that is returning to the list. I think he's going to be phenomenal this year. Let's talk about Sam Laporta. Now, don't be mad that 3 top 5 tight ends went to Iowa. I don't want people to be mad. That's just the way it is. If you go to Iowa, you're going to make this list. Okay? I just want people to understand that. But Sam Laporta, can he have a much better season than what? Can he get back to that 2023? I felt like he didn't return fully healthy properly in 2024, coming off the injury in 20. But can he? He had 60 receptions, 726 yards, but he did have 7 touchdowns. He didn't really get going till late into the season. I know because he was my tight end, and I was like, God dang it, get some touchdowns. Him and Trey McBride literally were running neck to neck, and then he had like a 4 touchdown game or something like that, like where he really went off. What's your thoughts on Sam Laporta?
I do feel like that Laporta is going to rebound. I am hearing that he is finally back to his old self again, which is really, really good to know. 100% ready to roll.
That's good.
That's going to be very good. His quarterback is definitely going to need him. The way that this offense is going to be, he's another one that I feel like is going to have a lot of opportunities in this offense this year. I just have a feeling that these new coaches that they have in here think that they're definitely going to structure this offense a little bit different. I feel like it's going to be more of a ground in type of deal where you're going to rely on your running back, which is Gibbs. Check that out if you haven't checked that out, about the running backs. And I feel like that Laporta is going to rebound. I feel like it's going to be a really, really big year for him. He's big. He can do a lot in this offense. And I just feel like that they're going to need him to be that.
I agree. Look, he's a tight end. He's featured. He's a receiving guy. He's also featured in the run blocking game. One of the reasons why you see less production from him like you got his rookie year. One of the reasons why you talked about Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery just running over motherfuckers. Like this is because they got a blocking tight end. Go figure. And Sam Laporta. Will we get some Sam Laporta back? I do believe so. Again, 60 receptions, not bad, but just not the Sam Laporta that we're used to seeing. We definitely saw a higher production from this tight end out there, but he is a top 5 tight end for us. And the number, you had something else you wanted to say about him? I'm sorry.
No.
Oh, and the top 5 tight end. I told you, don't be mad because they all went to friggin' tight end university, which is Iowa. Like that's where they went. Like Iowa. T.J. Hockenson. Now look, he returned from an injury last year, so he did not play all of the football last year. He played in only 10 games, but in 10 games, he had 41 receptions for 470 freaking 5 yards and 3 touchdowns. So I want people to know he will be J.J. McCarthy's bestest friend in the whole wide world. Where he's featured in, he's more like an H-back. So what does that mean? Well, he's kind of like that running back that will be the check down guy for him, for J.J. McCarthy. And everybody be playing off coverage of him, and underneath, they'll be playing over the top coverage, and the next thing you know, he's catching the ball underneath the zone and getting you 15, 20, 25 yards. When he's healthy, he's a problem. What are your thoughts on my man T.J. Hockenson?
The first thing that I'm going to say is, if you guys can't tell by the way that Breezie is talking about this guy, this is one of Breezie's favorite tight ends whenever he's healthy. Also,
you ain't never lied. I stashed this motherfucker on every IR list I could find last year, and it just was too late. Came back too late.
If you guys didn't know, Iowa is tight end U. Just like LSU is wide receiver U. It is. They just produce them tight ends. Well, let me tell you, Hawk is really special. Like Breezie said, he can do so many things within your offense. And J.J. McCarthy is definitely going to need this dude to be healthy so that he can rely on him a lot. So very, very excited about Hawk rebounding like we know that he can do. And it's definitely one that you're going to want to pay attention to how the draft's going, because you're going to want to pick him up if he's available down the line. You definitely are going to want to grab this one.
Make sure you get T.J. Hockenson. I think he's going to be a dynamic player once again. And you know what's funny about the tight ends? Like, they get older, but they're not old. Like, they don't. The tight end, it's hard. It's hard to find good ones. And so you might have to find yourself spending an early pick on drafting one of those top 5 tight ends. All right, I'm not trying to say, hey, go get this guy, go get this guy. No, he didn't have that production he had last year. But those top 4, you might not want to sleep on too late. Here's another old man yeller that we're going to talk about, and I know people are going to be like, oh man, get him off my list. He is trash garbage. No, he's not. He's still dynamic. He's still game planned for, and he's back for another freaking season. Let's talk about this guy, mother freaking Travis Kelce from the Kansas City Chiefs. Peachy, he doesn't give up. One of the things I like about Travis Kelce, this is still a guy that Patrick Mahomes trusts in the system, a guy that Patrick Mahomes is still looking to get the ball to, even though Patrick Mahomes has other weapons, other targets, and things like that. Definitely coming off of a down season, but number 6 on the list. I don't know if this says anything about the tight ends. I just think his nostalgia gives him the respect to still be dynamic out there. And he's supposed to be healthy, so that's a good thing. What are your thoughts on Travis Kelce?
The thing is, in Travis Kelce, this was usually my tight end darling, like every single year. If not, the first one, like back in the day, like he was always my first one. I actually still had him last season. Mm-hmm. He was very, very disappointing last season for more than one reason. But I do know this one thing about Travis Kelce. You can't sleep on this dude because you never know when he's just going to have that game or he's going to have that part of a season or whatever. And he could just be enough to help you out. And I'm not saying that you got to take him way at the top. Of course, we know that's just not happening because he's just not there anymore. This could possibly be his last season. He says that now that it looking like it probably won't be, but he'll just have to see how it goes. So the only thing that I can tell you is if you need a tight end in some later rounds, definitely do not sleep on Kelce.
You call him old. He was number 12th in receptions. We told you that the list of receivers, running backs, tight ends, all in their receivers, 12th. He was number 12, 97 receptions. We talk about his targets. His targets aren't going down. 133 targets. 133. He's still going to be heavily targeted in the Kansas City Chiefs offense. 823 yards. That's a decline. 3 touchdowns. That's a decline. So we're seeing him decline in the touchdowns and decline in the actual yardage. Did play in only 16 games, but I wouldn't sleep on Travis Kelce if I was you. And if he's set to be healthy and fully back to the Travis Kelce that we know, listen, who knows what he did in the offseason? We've watched tight ends go and then come back and, have bad seasons, go out, come back, then have phenomenal career seasons. So we'll see what happens when it comes to Travis Kelce. Let's get to our next tight end, another old guy, a guy that I don't even know how he has a job in the city in which he works in, but I'm not going to waste no time. Let's talk about Mark Andrews. Mark Andrews, woo, baby. I mean, you want to talk about a city that was ready to kind of like explode? When he dropped that pass for a touchdown, I mean, man, didn't that prevent them from beating a certain team?
Yes.
Do we want to talk about? No? Oh.
My goodness.
Why is he one of our top tight ends, Peachy, though? Why is he still a top tight end?
Because despite the big boo-boo that he made,
Whew,
he's still capable of a lot on the field. Hence why he is still in Baltimore. I feel like that he's gonna bounce back. He went through a lot. He went through a lot. His family went through a lot. It was just a lot.
It was a lot.
It was just a whole lot. When he is, doing Mark Andrews thing, that he's still very special. Now he does have another tight end that is also there, but
Isaiah
Lamar
Likely.
Jackson still is unreliable. He still counts on him a whole lot
I felt like
for this offense.
He had a slow start to the season and didn't really get churning until mid to the end of the season. If he doesn't have that slow start, and I think he was coming off of the ACL injury the year before. We're talking about a guy coming off, not a guy fully back a year after the ACL injury. You guys can go ahead and pass up on Mark Andrews if you want. He has Lamar Jackson, my number 2 quarterback. He has Lamar Jackson. So I'm leaving it at that. I trust Lamar getting that right. Here's an interesting name that made our top 10, and I know people are going to be like, that they did draft another tight end, but I think they're going to use him and feature him as a different type of style H-back. Let's talk about David Njoku from the Cleveland Browns. Yes, the Cleveland Brown made the list. Congratulations to the dog pound out there. Made fantasy football list. I like Njoku. I don't know why people don't like him or respect him, but first of all, I don't know who the hell their quarterback is going to be, but he was 45th on receiving as far as the top receivers. He only played in 11 games. I want to put that out there. He has 64 receptions in 11 games. That's important. 64 receptions, 11 games, 5 touchdowns, and 505 yards. Talk a little bit about Njoku. We know what he can be. He needs to be featured more. He's a dynamic playmaker. The question is, who the hell is throwing in the football? And will that quarterback lean on their best friend, which is the tight end?
So if you ask me if I'd take a shot in the dark, I would say that Joe Flacco is going to start the season off.
Okay.
Now just hear me out. It doesn't mean he's going to remain that way, but I do feel like that they're going to go into the season with him. Njoku, I feel like he doesn't get that kind of love because of where he plays. Because I feel like if he played for the Niners or he played for, these other teams, that he would get a whole lot more love than he does because he's awesome. And like you said, he just needs the ball. And the thing is getting him the ball because he's a massive specimen and it is impossible to take him down. Like, you're not going to take him down. Like, it's not happening. So
he is physically built for this shit. Do you see this guy? First of all, we're talking about a player that had severe burns and showed up and played football with face scarred up and healing. I don't know if people remember that. He had severe burns. I'm talking severe to where it really burnt off the skin, the flesh of his skin. He showed up that same week. I've been a fan. Like, if you're that mentally tough and physically tough to play a sport after being burnt, man, I burn my mouth and I ain't showing up. If I burn my tongue, I'm calling out of work. You understand what I'm saying? This dude burnt his face, his top of the body, and showed up and still was phenomenal. Something about Njoku, man. I like this dude. I think this dude's going to be a problem because I think the quarterbacks, whoever that quarterback is, I hope it, you know what, though, Peachy? I hope it's not Flacco because Flacco's going to look to get the ball down the field. I'm hoping it's one of those other quarterbacks, Kenny Pickett, who got to move around and find this guy that will rely on the tight end. If it's any one of those quarterbacks other than Flacco, not to disagree with you, but I feel like if it's any one of those other quarterbacks, he will have a phenomenal year because they're going to have to lean on him to be their playmaker. Him and Jerry Jeudy, for sure. Let's keep this rolling. This is mad fun. Hope you guys are having a good time. Don't forget to smash that like button. Here's a name where in 2023 he's the leading tight end in receptions. 2024 with the Jacksonville Jaguars, he came back. He had a blah season. Let's talk about my man Evan Engram, who is now going to be with the Denver Broncos. So now he gets an upgrade, in my opinion, in coaching. He gets an upgrade, in my opinion, with the quarterback. I like Bo Nix over Trevor Lawrence. And they are going to have a tight end. Bo Nix is going to have a man's best friend. We're talking dog. Evan Engram, receiving tight end. What are your thoughts on this guy? I'll get his stats pulled up from 2024.
The only thing I want to say about him is I'm so glad that he is in Denver. This is going to be really, really awesome. And like you said, upgrade coach, upgrade quarter. Like, I think in this offense, I think he's really going to thrive. And I think he's going to be very, very happy. So, because whenever he is able to be special. He's special. He's very, very special.
He had that special year with the Jaguars. You get what I'm saying? You go back to 2023. That was a special year. I'm looking at it right now. That was a special year. 114 receptions, 143 targets, almost 1,000 yards, 963 yards, only 4 touchdowns. But that's what made you draft him last year. He returned back. Had got a little injury. He just wasn't the same guy. Like, you know what I mean? Just wasn't the same guy. 9 games. He only played in 9 games. 47 receptions off of 64 targets. He only had 1 touchdown, 365 yards. But again, we talked about him changing the atmosphere again. So going from New York to Jacksonville. Now he's going to the high altitude in Denver. They're going to get a tight end. They're going to get a nice tight end, nice target, nice receiving type of tight end. And I think he's going to supersede there. I really, truly do with the coaching. He's getting Sean Payton.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's super important. So Evan Engram for the win. And I believe our last tight end, top 10 tight end, he's another guy that had a phenomenal freaking season. Jonnu Smith, no longer a Miami Dolphin. Trade alert to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Jonnu Smith. Now, they have Pat Freiermuth, but I feel like Freiermuth is more of a red zone target. I think Jonnu Smith is going to be the guy that they're going to look to feature more as far as their threat. 88 receptions last year, 111 targets last year, 884 yards last year, and 8. It was the year of 8s for him. 88, 884, 8 touchdowns. That's crazy, right?
Yeah, definitely. Boy, Aaron Rodgers has himself a really, really good target.
This might be the best tight end target if he continues to, because he's a veteran too. So Jonnu's been in the league for a while, since 2017, since Kyle Shanahan started coaching. this might be somebody. I'm trying to think of the tight end targets that he had in Green Bay, and if I can't think of them, that makes sense. So Aaron's going to get another guy that can help check down, do certain things. I think this is a good fit for him in Pittsburgh, believe it or not. It might be one of the trades, a good trade.
Yeah.
And they also get a wide receiver. They also got a wide receiver out of the deal. So you got Metcalf maybe taking the top of the D off, and then Jonnu Smith working the intermediate routes or whatever. Aaron Rodgers, old man Aaron might have a revival season. I don't know. He just may. He just may have a revival season. So, guys, top 10 tight ends. We'll go ahead and review them very quickly for you. Number 10, Jonnu Smith, Pittsburgh Steelers. Evan Engram, number 9. Evan Engram, number 9 from the Denver Broncos. You got number 8, David Njoku from the Cleveland Browns. Number 7, Mark Andrews. Yes, Mark Andrews, the guy that dropped that wide open pass for a touchdown. Mark Andrews for the Baltimore Ravens. Number 6, Old Man Kelsey from the Kansas City Chiefs. 5, T.J. Hawkinson from the Minnesota Vikings. Sam Laporta, number 4 from the Detroit Lions. George Kittle, number 3 from the San Francisco 49ers. Trey McBride, number 2 from the Arizona Cardinals. And the number 1 tight end, sound the alarm, Brock Bowers, Las Vegas Raiders. These are your top 10 tight ends. PPR, what's your fantasy? Thank y'all so much for tuning in. Don't forget, subscribe to this channel if this is your first time watching. Smash that like button. And most importantly, leave some comments in the comment section so that we can interact with you. Don't forget to check out our sponsors over at Residency. And we'll catch you guys on the next episode. Peace. Thank you all for your support here on the WayneBreezie channel. If you're new, make sure you click on that subscribe button. Don't forget to smash the like button and check out the other videos. Thanks for watching.